Thank you for joining us for this episode of Soul Sessions. Soul Sessions Through the Eyes of Us is a safe space for the panel to discuss various local and global events and provide information on current topics that affect African Americans. Disclaimer: the opinions voiced on this program do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the AFCC, its staff, volunteers, board of directors, or underwriters. I'm Anastasia and I'm the program manager.
Hi everyone, my name is Marlo Hatchett and I'm the peer mentor at the center. Do you have a hard time finding a reason to get organized? There are so many reasons to get organized. Maybe you're sick of never being able to find your keys. Or maybe the physical clutter is manifesting emotionally, causing you to feel anxious.
Some organizational methods say organizing room by room is best, while others encourage organizers to go item by item. It doesn't matter which method you use, there are plenty of different organizing tips. All you have to do is find the one that's best fit for you.
With every mess, you gotta start somewhere. Although when there's a mess, it can be difficult to know where that starting point is. So where should you begin? Here's 10 tips on staying organized at home.
Tip 1. Start with the one in, one out rule. According to Catherine Lynn, owner and organizer at the organization, the one in, one out rule will keep you in the right frame of mind throughout the organizing process. A good idea to remember is the one in, one out rule, says Lynn. If something new comes into your house, it's time to get rid of something old or something that you don't use anymore. This helps you keep from having too much stuff.
Carefully consider every new item is tip number 2. Bringing new items in the house can feel counterintuitive. How can you organize and manage your mess if you keep bringing in new stuff? Great question. According to Lynn, every new item that crosses the threshold of your home should be thought about with great care. Carefully consider every new item that you bring into your home. It's so easy to impulse shop, but resist the urge if you possibly can.
Number 3. Turn down items that don't have a place in your home. Lynn continues, weigh the options carefully when someone offers you something. If you don't have a home for it in your house, it's best to turn the item down and not bring it into your space where it could be a clutter.
Tip number 4. Purge items regularly by taking inventory. According to Jody and Julie of the Design Twins, regularly going through your items is a great way to take inventory of what you have. Regularly purge, encourages Jody. Things are always coming into our homes. If you don't take the time to sort through what is no longer necessary or needed, you will find yourself overwhelmed with belongings.
Tip number 5. Every item in your house should have a home, aka a place where it belongs. Everything needs a place, Julie says. This may seem basic and obvious, but really this is the key to an organized home. Finding a place for everything may seem daunting, but in order to do this, you can start by always putting your keys in the same spot every time you're done with them. Whether you hang them up or put them in a basket once you walk through the door, starting with your keys is an excellent way to get into the habit of putting everything where it belongs.
Tip number 6. Create centers or stations for specific items. Jody and Julie suggest creating stations that house specific themes of items. Create mini destinations in your home, explains Jody. Coffee station, command center, work or home stations, etc. This technique will encourage you to have everything you need where you need it. In short, you'll never lose the remote again. Find a home for every single thing in your home, agrees Lynn. You delay on making a decision about where something lives for one thing, and then another thing, and then another thing. And then before you know, you have a pile of items without a home.
Tip number 7. Set aside specific time to organize. Now, if you're just starting your organizational journey, you may be looking at your current schedule and thinking, when the heck do I have time to tidy up my whole house? That's why Lynn suggests putting aside specific organizing time. Designate a scheduled maintenance time, Lynn encourages. Organizing is a practice, not a project, so staying organized requires maintenance. Have one night of the week or perhaps during the weekend where you and the whole family put items back into their homes. This helps keep the whole house tidy and straight on a regular scheduled basis.
Tip number 8. Change your daily habits to include frequent organizing and tidying. The Design Twins also recommend changing your daily habits, a step-by-step process. An organized home is the result of daily habits, explains Jody. Don't wait for a special occasion to organize. Maintain a daily commitment to following these tips and you'll be rewarded with an organized, clutter-free home. Ain't that nice?
Number 9, don't keep anything out of obligation. Another point of stress for organizers might be a pressure to keep something you really don't want. Like say, something that was gifted to you. Don't keep something out of obligation. Lynn advises, you're not required to keep gifts or things that people have given to you out of obligation, especially if they cause you stress or anxiety because they create clutter. Thank you to the person who gifted you the item or gave you the item and then send it on its way.
It will find another home that appreciates it more.
Regifting. 101.
Truth. Tip number 10, create a designated area for mess.
Ooh.
The Design Twins also recommend creating a drop zone. Ever heard of one before? It's basically a glorified mess area. I call it my junk drawer, just saying.
Okay.
Create a drop zone to gather and organize the clutter that comes in and out of the house, says Julie.
Alrighty, so let's move on to daily routines. Small changes can have a big impact. That's certainly true of routines. While some people believe that developing a concrete schedule is too difficult, even implementing minor alterations to your daily life can have enormous positive consequences.
This is particularly true during times of great uncertainty, such as the pandemic. When our lives were upended by COVID-19 more than a year ago, many of us felt a loss of control. But a routine can help establish normalcy in the face of an unpredictable world, giving us more structure.
At NYU School of Medicine, if people don't have structure and are sitting around with less to focus on, then they also probably will find themselves thinking about the stressful situation more, which can also lead to additional stress and anxiety.
What's the answer?
Routine.
Routines! Northwestern Medicine finds that routines positively impact our mental health, leading to less stress, better sleep, increased productivity, improved eating habits, and more focus, among other benefits. Moreover, routines can even be enjoyable, dare we say fun? You don't need to bend over backward to make your life better. Here are 30 routines that are easy to implement and stick to every day.
Wake up at the same time every day. On weekends, so many of us love to sleep in, but waking up at the same time every day is a critical routine to follow for good sleep hygiene. Ever wondered why it's so difficult to get out of bed on Mondays? Part of the reason could be you've thrown yourself off routine for 2 consecutive days and are having trouble resuming normalcy.
Number 2, make your bed. You may be thinking, why is this so important? According to Navy SEAL Admiral William H. McCraven, it will give you a small sense of accomplishment to kick off your day. Know you haven't conquered your potentially massive to-do list, but you've done one crucial thing. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to get into a nicely made bed at the end of a long day, which is just plain satisfying. It really is.
All right, step number 3, exercise. Exercise has numerous benefits impacting not only your physique, but also your mental health and physical health. Plus, it can give you a boost in energy and lead to better sleep. You don't have to run a marathon every day either. Even just 30 minutes of walking can offer significant rewards. While this doesn't have to take place in the morning, it's another great way to start the day that will give you a sense of accomplishment.
Meditate. Here's one many highly successful people, including Oprah Winfrey, swear by. Like exercise, regular meditation has plenty of benefits in numerous aspects of your life, including stress reduction. Again, you don't have to devote significant time to this. Just 5 or 10 minutes will do the trick. Having trouble getting started? Guided meditations like those via Headspace can help you ease in and establish a regular practice.
Number 5, take a shower. This is a super easy routine you may already have in your life. And on the occasional days you skip your regular shower, you probably notice a difference. Aside from cleanliness factors, you could experience a dip in your mood. That's because bathing is connected to better mental health, according to research.
Eat breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You've probably heard it before, and it's true. Eating breakfast starts your metabolism, boosts your energy, and improves your overall health. But it's important to eat the right breakfast too. Starting your day with a chocolate bar will have negative effects on your health. Instead, try a blend of protein, fiber, and vitamin-rich foods. Eggs, yogurt, nuts, fruit, and low-sugar cereal are some good bets.
Drink a glass of water. Do you feel dehydrated in the morning? That's pretty typical. Our bodies dry out overnight, and drinking a glass of water will replenish your fluids. For an added boost, squeeze some lemon or drop a slice in your glass. This will offer additional benefits such as aiding your digestion.
Take vitamins. Many people don't get the vitamins they need from the food that they eat during the day. Support your diet by incorporating vitamins into your daily routine. For some, a multivitamin will be enough. Others need additional supplements, such as iron if they're iron anemic, or vitamin D. When in doubt, talk to your physician about what you might need to stay healthy.
Review your to-do list for the day. Before you officially start the workday, review your to-do list to give yourself a sense of what you have on your plate. This can help you stay organized and allow you to manage your time. I usually write my ideas down on Monday, all my stuff down, and then throughout the week I can cross it all off.
Check your email at the same time every day. Do not make it first thing in the morning, as tempting as that may be. This will more likely agitate you and immediately make you start thinking about work and everything you need to respond to that day. Unlike the to-do list, this will bring up issues you may not have been aware of last night. Instead, wait until you sign on to work or enter the office to check. If you can, try to avoid leaving your email in the background. This isn't feasible for all jobs. You might need to address urgent issues as they arise. But if at all possible, establish regular times to check during the day rather than looking at it obsessively.
Number 12, make lunch. Are you in the habit of going out to lunch every day? Yes. Instead, why not make a simple, delicious lunch to eat in the park or even at your kitchen table? This is healthier and cheaper than eating out every day. Unless it's critical for your job, make going out a treat rather than a routine. This will make the times you hit up your favorite coffee shop or cafe all more special.
Yeah, I gotta cut that Starbucks routine out.
Yeah, I've been eating tacos when I work.
And another good tip is to stretch. What a great routine. Sitting in your chair all day long is not good for you. I'm sure you know that. You need to stretch. Make it a routine to get up at least once every hour or more frequently if you feel like you need it. Get up out of your seat and do some simple stretches. This will make you feel a lot better and get the blood flowing.
Definitely. I sit in here all the time and stretch. Like, it helps. Or when, you're just not paying attention to life. And then you start getting overwhelmed. Stretch. Okay. Schedule in short breaks. It may sound counterintuitive, but if you work continuously throughout the day, you can end up being less productive than you would be otherwise. We need breaks. Schedule in short 15 to 20 minute breaks every 90 minutes or so of continuous work. During each break, take a walk around the block, eat a snack, or do something else. The point is to take a few minutes to recharge so you're prepared for the next cycle.
Do one thing that intimidates you. This is healthy for personal growth and overcoming your fears. And who knows, it may just pay off and allow you to meet your goals. It could be as big as applying to a job or as small as saying hi to a stranger on the street. Whatever gets you out of your comfort zone.
Commit a time for honing a skill. Learning a language, a musical instrument, or technical competency. All of these skills require time and commitment, but you don't have to sacrifice hours and hours. Duolingo lessons take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete for one.
Straighten up your workspace. Is your workspace cluttered and disorganized? Certainly, this can happen after a long day of work. But you definitely don't want to come back to that chaos tomorrow. So near the end of the workday, take a few moments to straighten up your space. This will help prepare you for what's next on your plate and encourage you to stay focused through it all.
Set and stick to a sign-off time. When you're working from home, as many of us are during this pandemic, it's easy to get caught up in your task and keep telling yourself just 10 more minutes. But it's also important to establish boundaries between your work life and your personal life or home life. To prevent yourself from getting overwhelmed with work and feeling exhausted all the time, set and stick to a sign-off time every day. This will help you maintain some order.
Track your habits. Habit tracking is highly beneficial for understanding how you work and how you can maximize your productivity.
Have at least one real conversation. Texting doesn't count. Many of us are missing that social connection, especially if we're working from home. Ensuring you have one real conversation, whether it's with your neighbor, on the phone with a friend, or even with a colleague on a Zoom meeting, will help you curb the isolation you may be experiencing right now.
Eat dinner. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but dinner is also important. If you have trouble finding time to cook every day, consider making your meals for the week ahead of time, over the weekend, or investing in meal kits to help you out. Of course, there's always DoorDash, but just like with lunch, it's healthier and cheaper to do it yourself.
Make a to-do list for the next day. The next day will feel a lot more manageable if you know what's going on your plate. Organize your tasks by creating a to-do list with your priorities, dividing the tasks up into most important, somewhat important, and least important categories. Then review it in the morning.
Read. Reading is the perfect wind-down activity, better than TV. Maybe you disagree. If you're not a reader, by all means, skip to the next item. But if you're like me and you enjoy reading, make just a few pages of a book, magazine, or newspaper, or even a blog a part of your regular nighttime routine.
Journal. Getting your thoughts out on paper can help you make peace with any unresolved uncertainties and conclude the day. Of course, not every day or night goes well, and sometimes you will be experiencing stress, anxiety, annoyance, or sadness over the events that happen. But if you make journaling a daily habit, you may find that you are more able to clear your mind and get more sleep easily.
Write down 3 good things that happened that day. Many mental health professionals advise people to write down 3 good things that went well during the day, every day. That's because many of us focus on the bad things that happen or the anxious thoughts we have while forgetting the good. Instead of overlooking the positive aspects of the day, make it a practice to remember these good things, however small. This routine can have a real impact on your overall mood and outlook.
Straighten up your personal space. Just like straightening up your workplace, straightening up your personal space is important for your mood and starting off the day on the right foot. When you wake up to a mess, your outlook could be adversely impacted for the whole day. But waking up to an organized space will make you feel more positive about what's to come. So, do those dirty dishes and put those clothes in the hamper. You'll be grateful for the forward-thinking tomorrow.
Do a hobby you love. Doing something you really enjoy, whether that's cooking, gardening, drawing, or playing with a pet, will allow you to separate yourself from a long day of work. At the same time, it will also give you opportunity to settle down. as well as give you something to look forward to throughout the day.
Lay out your clothes for the next day before bed. When Barack Obama was in office, he famously noted that we only saw him wearing gray or blue suits because I'm trying to pare down decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing because I have too many other decisions to make. Now, we're not suggesting you commit to a single outfit or type of outfit for every day of the week, but if you decide what you're going to wear the night before, you'll have fewer decisions to make the first thing in the morning, when you could be still foggy with sleep.
Turn off your devices. 30 minutes before bedtime, power off your devices. That includes your cell phone, tablet, laptop, and anything else that is sure to be a distraction and prevent you from fully settling down during the night. If you absolutely must keep them on, put them in another room with the sound turned off. In emergency situations, it's okay to ignore the cell phone rule, of course. Certain jobs may also require you to be on call.
Go to bed at the same time every day. Like waking up at the same time every day, you should attempt to establish a regular routine and create better sleep habits and hygiene by setting and sticking to roughly the same bedtime every day. Yes, even on the weekends. Is it really necessary? Actually, yeah, especially if you have trouble sleeping. If you get into this routine, you'll feel more well-rested and improve your mental health at the same time. We would like to remind you that the opinions voiced on this program do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the AFCC, its staff, volunteers, board of directors, and/or underwriters.
So, this week we will be starting Each One Teach One, our after-school program, Monday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Come on in if you want to sign up for that or give us a call. And we also have soul sessions through the Eyes of Us. That's every Tuesday from 5 to 6. That's what you're watching right now.
A behavioral health counselor is at the center every third Tuesday of the month. That's every third Tuesday of the month from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. offering drop-in services and referrals. Personal Peace Institute, a free program via Zoom that provides participants with the skills and strategies necessary for recognizing and controlling ignorant feelings. The Zoom meetings are every Wednesday. The youth group is from 5 to 6 and the adult group is from 6 to 7.
And we have Dance to Burst, which is our hip hop and step dance class that allows participants to build relationships, learn leadership skills, and boost confidence. Everyone aged 7 and up is welcome to join. There is a beginner and advanced group. This class is every Friday from 2:30 to 5 p.m. Make sure you are tuned in to our community radio station, KOIL 107.1 FM.
Yup, community radio.
You can also stream online at KOIL.fm. Check out our live radio show, History Right Now, sponsored by the LEAD Project, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. with Dylan Whitaker, the project coordinator at the center.
Please give us a call at 530-532-1205 if you are interested in signing up to participate, volunteer, or facilitate any events or programs.
Well, we hope these steps and tips help you to stay better organized and on a set routine throughout your days. Now we're going to be going into the lead portion of the show with Dylan Whitaker.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Soul Sessions Through the Eyes of Us, the lead portion of the show. My name is Dylan Whitaker. I'm the project coordinator here at the African American Family and Cultural Center. I work with LEAD, and LEAD stands for Leadership, Equity, Action, and Development. The LEAD program's goal is to promote and to protect a tobacco-free lifestyle for all Butte and Yuba County residents. We believe passionately in health equity and environmental justice in Black communities and in low socioeconomical communities. So we want to make sure we're spreading awareness on different ways to get our community to a place of equity, to a place of togetherness, to a place of health and mental well-being. All right. Our main focus with that is with tobacco right now. If you didn't know, tobacco advertising is disproportionately placed in our neighborhoods and advertised to people of low socioeconomic status and to people of color, and the rates within which the advertisements are placed within black communities versus more wealthy communities is fascinating. It's fascinating. So today we're going to focus specifically on youth mental health and nicotine use. Many young people turn to nicotine to alleviate stress, anxiety, and depression, but it may be making them feel worse. So let's get into it. Two health crises among youth, a mental health crisis and a vaping epidemic, pose increasing threats to a generation of young people. They are also linked in ways many may not realize, according to the body of peer-reviewed studies. Both crises have intensified during the COVID-19 pandemic, and even before the pandemic, 70% of young people said that anxiety and depression were a major problem amongst peers in their community. According to the Pew Research Center report, since then, a problem has gotten worse as the prevalence of depression and anxiety symptoms in youth has doubled compared to before the pandemic. Alongside this mental health crisis, youth e-cigarette use driven by products that quickly deliver highly addictive nicotine has remained at the epidemic levels, with 1 in 5 high school students vaping in 2020. In the time since the survey, national e-cigarette sales have risen to record highs, and the risk of vaping has become more apparent as evidence shows it can harm lung health and may put users at a greater risk of contracting COVID-19. While it is well known that nicotine harms developing brains, including by making young people more susceptible to addiction, lesser known are the worrying connections between nicotine and mental health. Though nicotine has not been found to directly cause mental health conditions, more research is needed. Numerous peer-reviewed studies reveal troubling links, including clearly established research that shows nicotine can worsen symptoms of depression and anxiety. Research shows several connections between nicotine and mental health. 1. Nicotine can worsen anxiety symptoms and amplify feelings of depression. 2. Current e-cigarette users have doubled the odds of having any diagnosis of depression compared to those who have never vaped. According to a 2019 JAMA study of nearly 30,000 current e-cigarette users, frequent vaping is tied to even higher odds, 2.4 times, of having a diagnosis of depression compared to never users. Number 3. Using cigarettes can worsen symptoms of depression based on the results of a study of nearly 2,500 ninth graders who had never previously used e-cigarettes or combustible tobacco. Using e-cigarettes at a higher frequency was associated with higher depressive symptoms, including feeling sad or having crying spells a year later. 4. Current e-cigarette users have 1.67 times higher odds, and former e-cigarette users have 1.52 times higher odds of reporting at least one day of poor mental health in the past month compared to newer users. 5. Trace amounts found in vape liquid may play a role in the potential link between vaping and depression. Trace metals found in vape liquid may play a role in the potential link between vaping and depression. Okay? Vaping is significantly associated with higher levels of ADHD symptoms based on a 2019 study of college students. Using e-cigarettes as an adult also has nearly twice the odds of association with cognitive complaints, having serious difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions compared to those who have never used e-cigarettes. Many misinterpret the effects of tobacco products as a stress reliever. Indeed, the Truth Initiative surveys show a large majority of young people who have used e-cigarettes started vaping to lessen feelings of stress, anxiety, depression, and many continue to cope with these feelings. Though they may be looking to nicotine for relief, many young people are unaware that vaping can make the symptoms worse. The common misconception that nicotine relieves stress, anxiety, and depression may be rooted in a cycle of nicotine withdrawal. Irritability, anxiety, and depression are some of the symptoms of nicotine withdrawal, and using nicotine relieves these symptoms temporarily. It's critical to recognize that the cycle of nicotine withdrawal, subsequent nicotine use, and alleviation of symptoms all starts with the nicotine addiction in the first place. Sidebar: the illusion of nicotine as a stress reliever. Many tobacco users believe tobacco products can relieve stress or anxiety. They may be interpreting the ability of these products to curb the symptoms of nicotine withdrawal as a beneficial effect on mental health. According to the research effects on quitting smoking, mental health, published in 2014, that is. According to the paper, smokers experience irritability, anxiety, and depression when they have not smoked for a while, feelings which are relieved by smoking. The cycle of symptoms followed by relief from smoking can create the perception that smoking has psychological benefits when it actually doesn't. In addition, the tobacco industry has invested significant resources in marketing that connects tobacco use with mental health and well-being, stress relief, relaxation, and pleasure. Which is really sad, honestly. Given these two factors, the cycle of nicotine withdrawal combined with the tobacco industry marketing, there's no wonder that people have misconceptions about the role that nicotine plays in mental well-being. Published research on nicotine and mental health combined with the Truth Initiative survey data point to an urgent need to increase awareness of the connections between youth vaping and mental well-being. 78% of those who vaped before COVID-19 are vaping either the same or more than during the pandemic. Truth Initiative surveys reveal that many young people cite feelings of stress, anxiety, depression as reasons that they start to continue vaping. Overwhelming majority started vaping to decrease stress, anxiety, and depression. And as I said before, 81% who had used e-cigarettes said that they started vaping to decrease these things, according to an August survey of 1,000 people between the ages of 15 and 24. More than half of vapers use e-cigarettes to cope. 50.3% of frequent vapers who have vaped 20 or more days in the past month reported that they need to have vape to cope with their stress or anxiety, according to Truth Initiative's continuous tracking data from June 2021. In a separate study, when respondents were asked about the advantages of e-cigarette use, one of the most frequently listed advantages was relaxation and stress relief. 78% of those who vaped before COVID-19 are vaping either the same or more than during the pandemic. As many young people return to in-person learning, 70% report that they anticipate seeing young people vape at similar or higher rates as they go back to school. Many tobacco users believe that smoking reduces stress or anxiety. Young people who vape are unaware that vaping can worsen mental health concerns. It seems to be a reoccurring thing. While young people may use e-cigarettes as a coping mechanism, they are not always aware of the negative role that e-cigarettes, primarily nicotine, can play in mental health. According to Truth Initiative's Continuous Tracking Online (CTO) survey findings, most vapers are unaware of the mental health effects of vaping. Only 44% of vapers, frequent vapers, agree that vaping can worsen anxiety and irritability, compared to 61% of those who don't vape, according to the data collected in June 2021. More than twice as many frequent vapers, 45%, agreed that it is okay to vape for stress relief compared to non-vapers, 20%. Similar patterns exist for survey respondents with any past 30-day use of e-cigarettes. The results suggest that aside from not knowing that vaping can exacerbate mental health concerns, e-cigarette users are instead using them to cope with anxiety and stress, potentially worsening their mental health in the long term. Quitting smoking is linked with lower levels of anxiety, depression, and stress, as well as improved positive mood and quality of life compared to those who continue to smoke. According to a 2014 meta-analysis of 26 studies about smoking and mental health, published in the British Medical Journal. Okay? Now, here's how big tobacco has linked nicotine and mental health. The tobacco industry has invented significant resources to connect tobacco with mental well-being, including giving away cigarettes to psychiatric facilities, supporting research that positions cigarettes as a way of self-medication, and using stress relief themes in marketing. One prominent theme used in their tobacco advertising is that smoking can help solve some personal and emotional problems by relieving stress and promoting relaxation, according to the National Cancer Institute's 2008 report on the role of media in tobacco use. Let me tell you something. All of these facts that we're telling you are solid facts, studies that have been verified and published. This theme can be seen in many tobacco ads, from early Camel ads that picture people relaxing with a cigarette, which reads, "It's a psychological fact. Pleasure helps your disposition." For more pure pleasure, images that associate with cigarettes and carefree fun. Many e-cigarette brands are now tapping into themes that stress relief and mental well-being as well, including the popular disposal e-cigarette brand Puff Bar, which during the pandemic marketed its product as a way to stay sane, advertising it as the perfect escape from the back-to-back Zoom calls, parenting texts, and WFH stress. Okay? Coming to the end here, action is needed. The associations between youth vaping, nicotine, and mental health concerns add to the urgency to regulate and reduce youth access to e-cigarette products. As young people continue to weather the COVID-19 pandemic and cope with its attendant stressors on mental well-being, we must work to create a supportive environment that reduces the availability of products that exacerbate symptoms of depression and anxiety. Preventing the use of nicotine and helping those addicted quit is crucial and critical to helping to ensure today's young adults are the best equipped for the future. Policymakers and regulators must take steps to reduce the use of e-cigarettes, including removing all flavored products. The FDA must act to remove the market all non-tobacco flavors, including menthol, from all tobacco products, including cigarettes, e-cigarettes, little cigars, cigarillos, cigars, smokeless tobacco, and hookah. Federal actions to date to limit the marketing of e-cigarettes, including removing some pod-type flavored e-cigarette products, have proven insufficient to significantly reducing the alarming number of young people who use e-cigarettes. The next one, restrict nicotine levels. The FDA should limit nicotine levels of e-cigarettes by capping the nicotine strength, as it is done in the EU and in Canada. The Truth Initiative supports restricting not only nicotine levels, but also the mechanism by which nicotine is delivered. For example, restrictions on level of nicotine salts to reduce the amount of nicotine e-cigarettes deliver to the body. These restrictions will help reduce the addictiveness of these products. Next, we can ensure a thorough and transparent pre-market review process. The FDA needs to be transparent about both of the review process and its enforcements of its regulations against those products and companies who are operating outside of the existing regulatory structure. This diligence is especially critical as the agency postponed its decisions on the pre-market reviews of products that make up the largest share of the market. As the FDA continues its review process for one of these products, including Juul, Vuse, Blue, Logic, and Enjoy, must ensure a thorough and transparent process. The next one says that we are to restrict e-cigarette marketing to ensure that it is aimed at adults. The FDA must impose restrictions on all marketing, including social media marketing, to ensure e-cigarette advertising is to be aimed at adults and is switching away from combustible tobacco. And then we need to restrict access to adult smokers. The FDA authorization of e-cigarettes should be accompanied by strict requirements that restrict access to adult smokers, including selling e-cigarettes in adult-only retail spaces, no self-service sales, and no in-store / window promotional signage near schools. And then we have internet sales. The FDA should prohibit all non-face-to-face sales along with internet sales of all tobacco products, including e-cigarettes. And last but not least, taxation. Federal, state, and local tax writing authorities should set taxes on e-cigarettes at a level sufficient to discourage youth use. Okay? And with all that being said, we just want to make sure that we are spreading the awareness of the dangers that tobacco has on mental health, on the potential for our youth to fall into this addictive pattern that seems to be becoming a worse and worse thing. It's clear that the tobacco industry has been lying to us, pulling out all types of false advertisement about the correlation between smoking and peace. There is no correlation between smoking and peace. There is no correlation between smoking and peace. We need to make sure that we are providing not only healthier ways for our students and our friends and our family and our community and our youth to advance and to be a better version of themselves, but we need to be creating positive ways for people to cope with these stressful times that we're in. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and there's a lot of different ways that you could respond to the stresses that you have in your life. And we're here to tell you at the AAFCC that we're here to encourage you, at least, that smoking and nicotine is not the way to do it. Go for a walk, talk to a friend, read a book, get on TikTok or something like that, but try your best to stay away from this monster of a problem that we have in tobacco advertisement. This has been the lead portion of the Soul Sessions show. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Dalen Whitaker, and we'll see you next week.